citizen.
The high gear attacking me. They have turned these weapons up so freaking hard I ain't been able to hardly walk.
This is my left eyeball. Here's the corner of my eye, comes up to here, lashes, comes up to here and here. They're trying to zap it out as I record it.
Before your eyes, that's the drone.
I turned my phone because see they've cut back on their resources now. If I go and travel outside of my house, they gotta spend more jet fuel. You guys, Strip Hill, almost targeted citizen. Hard day. Barely been off the couch. Just wanted to go over a few things with my targeted life. Told you guys a while back I had to get the exhaust fixed on my Bronco where muriatic acid was sprayed on my exhaust pipes, therefore rotting out everything. That happened the same time that my back brake lines were cut. And the vandalism to my ignition system happened.
So on the ignition system, I had to rebuild the distributor, I had to put a pickup coil and a switch, a key switch. So
after I fixed all that, I took it to the exhaust shop to get the exhaust put back on it. And this is the work he did. It's supposed to come straight out here to the side, and he did it like this, because why?
Hey, maybe you should have told him that you wanted to suck on exhaust fumes when you dropped the truck off. Most people want the exhaust fumes going out the back. And I know what you're saying, how the tailpipe used to come out behind the tires, and it just fed it all onto the right side. So when you're sitting at a drive-thru or anything else, it's just bouncing right back at the person taking your order and you. So the exhaust goes more to the back. Maybe you should have said thank you.
Because it's easier, and why? Because I'm a targeted individual.
I just told you why, literally. So you ain't breathing in all them exhaust fumes. I mean, for a mechanic of 30-some years, you said, you sure don't know much. We're going to learn that coming up pretty quick, too.
Imagine that. Sir, please remove yourself.
Bubba, there's nobody there but you.
So I go today. I told you I dropped my Ranger off 3 months ago. And strangely enough, everything that happened with my Bronco is exactly what was wrong with my Ranger. Isn't that amazing? So on my Ranger, I go over there today and I call him. I was like, well, I told you yesterday that he says, oh, I can't find a fuel tank for your truck. They don't make them anymore. So
that's a lie right there. They absolutely still make them. I know where you can get a couple of them. In fact, quick Google search, you'll see that you can still get one for a couple $100 all the way back to 83. And I believe I found one for 81. That's a 350 Ranger. Oh, it's okay, back to 83.
oh, also look, destroyed the interior of my truck, ripped out all this. None of this had to be messed with. None of it. Yet he took it all apart, computer apart, everything. So God knows what's really wrong with it now.
we're not done yet.
Okay.
Let me show you this. I can't stand to take advantage of because I don't have the money. So here you go. $65 to replace ignition coil, and then $50 to replace ignition module, at a grand total of $223. Now, you know what? I told him I would do all that. I told him I'd fix that.
Then why was it there?
And I'm going to show you why I'd fix that. And here's the deal. He didn't even fix it right. He didn't even do it right. At all. So let me show you this. You want to show what I paid $65 for him to take that right there off? It says it took him an hour to pull 4 screws out. Guess what? He only put 2 in it. There's 4 that was in it, and now there's only 2 in it. So I got charged $65 for him, which takes about, I could have it off and back on in less than 2 minutes. That right there, which I told him I would do myself. And in the ignition module on the back of the distributor, that right there probably take about 10 minutes. Just one little screw holding it on. So, $100 labor for doing that.
That's a coil for number 1. And for 2, you got to pay someone to actually do it, and you have to buy the part. So let's not act like people are going to do something for free.
It's tough out here as it is.
He said, oh, I didn't charge you for taking your bed off.
Well, that's because you didn't take my goddamn bed off. What he did do is, it looks like he's cross-threaded that bolt, so it doesn't even go in there. It's not even in there, so he didn't even do that. He says he took these out, but if you look at it, look, I take my bed off.
No, I was not there with those mechanics. I will not speak for them. However, I will tell you I have removed plenty of beds off plenty of pickup trucks in my time. And they would absolutely get to that tank and drop it out of there. Well, 1, without even taking that bed off there. But 2, just running them back bolts off there, lift it up, getting up out of there. And if it's the first time that them bolts have been removed since the factory, it may not have went back in. Or if you had some jackwagon working on it, he could have cross-threaded it. But either way it goes, they could have got to that tank without taking the entire, lifting the bed off and removing it and setting it in the yard.
$225 targeted individuals is what I'm trying to tell you. you're going to get vandalized, whether it's at your home or if you dare try to pay somebody. Listen, my best friend from 20 years, he wasn't a perp, but he had perps working for him. And the hundreds of thousands of dollars I spent at that shop.
Yeah, and I got Warren Buffett money. Who are you kidding, buddy? Let me tell you something right now. I don't think you could count to 100,000. Look at your life.
You ain't never had no $100,000 lifestyle.
Engines that I paid to get rebuilt, not work. Transmission I paid to get rebuilt, not work. Hell, this truck sat at my buddy's house for 2 years. And the only thing I got to show for is this big dent in the bumper, where he didn't do anything either, except made it worse because it actually ran when it got to his shop.
You know, that's awfully interesting because you remember a few videos back when you said you just bought that to flip it and make some money off of? Yeah. Give a man enough rope, he'll eventually hang himself.
But he wouldn't replace, nobody wanted to pull, the fuel tank's too hard to do, really? On this gravel and mud, I've replaced the fuel tank or the fuel pump in my Cadillac and in my van.
But when it came to that truck, you decided to pay somebody else to do it.
Oh, no, it's on a lift. I've got a lift in concrete. God forbid I have to do that.
Hey, settle down. Before you get any ideas, jumping in that truck isn't going to give you a higher education.
But this is what we deal with as targeted individuals. So $225 money I did not have. Money I didn't even have to replace these parts that more than likely did need to be replaced. I mean, well,
that you had you
let me read.
you could you do you want you could do so you want.
I'll retract that. That were vandalized because see, guess what? Just an EMP, just an electrical surge can shoot out the coil and that. And amazingly enough, the exact same thing I replaced on my Bronco is exactly what's wrong with that. $. So this truck has been out of commission for almost 4 years now because of the vandalism done to it. Listen, guys, electrical components don't go right from sitting. Now, they can get a little corrosion in them, but they just don't go, not sealed units. They don't go out from sitting. I have pulled cars out of the weeds that have been there for 50 and 60 years and got them running in the same day.
Every part fails. It's literally what they do. Everything is made of matter. Matter eventually fails. Now, I'm sure some scientists will be like, oh, but this... Things corrode and fail.
I still haven't crawled underneath to see if my cat's there, if it has a catalytic converter under it, because it may very, very well be gone.
I'll tell you what, after all these accusations, all this stuff you're done, don't you ever bring here, if that was my garage, don't you ever, I don't care if it's a lawnmower, don't you ever bring anything back here. And then you speculate, I'm too lazy to crawl underneath there and check, but I just wanted to say, I don't even know if they stole from me or not.
See, new exhaust. New exhaust. Not a speck of rust in this truck.
Nope. It was all in the gas tank.
He's a targeted individual. Nothing's going to come. If he complains, nothing's going to happen. Because he's targeted. I'm going to the lake. And if I never have to drive another automobile again, I'll be just fine. Okay. Because that's where I'm at now. Everything I own, vandalized. Everything. I'm not allowed to have anything in this world because I'm a targeted individual.
That's not true. You have to learn to look at things for how they actually are. It's not because you're targeted. It has nothing to do with any of that nonsense that you're talking about. It's because you're a lazy bum. That's why you have no money.
And anybody, you're lying, you're crazy, nobody breaking in your house. Well, I beg to differ because look at the comments and see all the other crazy people just like me. Yeah.
Here you go again, trying to live somebody else's story though, Bubba. It doesn't work. Saying that look in the comments at everybody else does not prove your situation. At all. At all. It literally does nothing. You must provide your own proof. And you have none. You've never had any.
Yeah.
No.
It's criminal and nobody's going to help us.
I mean, what kind of help do you want? Do you want me to pick you up, take you to the job, put the hammer in your hand, and then operate your arm? I mean, come on now. Jesus loves y'all. So do I.